What is up, everyone? So in this video I'm going to try to build another gaming PC using spare parts that I have left from when I used to buy computers and take them apart and sell them. I don't do that anymore that much, but occasionally I will build a computer and I'll give it to one of my family members and or friends that want to buy one. But I don't do that too much anymore. All my family members now have a PC that I built them. But if you've seen my last video building a rudimentary gaming PC, I said that I only had the parts that I had in the shelf, but actually I had a couple more parts. They were actually installed on this computer, and then there were some parts on this computer. So I took the components out and I put them in my shelf here, just to show you guys what else I had. So today I'm going to be trying to build the oldest, most outdated gaming slash computer and see what kind of PC I can build, okay? So I'm going to try to go with the oldest motherboard, oldest CPU, oldest GPU, and we're going to try to game on it. We're going to see what kind of games we can play on it. And yeah, let's just have some fun. So let's go ahead and review my components. So I have 2 more or 3 more components now. So let me go ahead and show you. You remember this guy? The MSI Z87 G45 Gaming. I don't have a powerful enough CPU for this at the moment, but hopefully one day I will. And I also have this guy. You guys don't know this guy, but this Asus P55DE Pro Asus board. So this was not on my shelf the last time I showed you guys, but now I do have that. And I don't think you guys know this guy either. This is a Lenovo motherboard, M-ATX. It's got a lot of connections that don't support different cases, so it only works with the case that it comes with. But we can get it working with different cases. Let's see, you guys know a little M-ATX over here. Not M-ATX, ITX. This nice ASRock H97M ITX. It's a nice little motherboard here. I want to find a use for it, build like a mini ITX PC, gaming PC. But the power supplies and the cases for these are way too expensive if you want to get like a decent brand power supply. So I'm actively looking for cheap ones here and there. And then also this guy, I don't think you guys seen this one. This is a stock Intel desktop board, just regular Intel board. It doesn't say a model number, or I don't know if that's a model number there, but yeah, I don't remember what CPU this supports. I don't think this GPU was also seen in my last video. I don't know what GPU this is. I totally forgot. There's no model that I can recognize that I know of. It does have an HDMI, so that's a plus. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, there's one other board. Alright, so I do have this, also an Intel board. It's probably the oldest board that I have, so I may use this one for the build if I have a CPU for it, which I should, because I always have sometimes parts for everything that I have. Not all the time, but sometimes. First off, I'm going to choose a case to install this hardware on. Definitely not going to be this one. I can't use that little one. The NZXT or Fantex case power button doesn't work, so don't want to use that. That case only supports M-ATX. I do have this case. It supports the full ATX. I think this case is too nice for that board, so let me look for something else. Okay, so I think I found the perfect case. It's not a completed case, but it is a case that will support my components. Now, I forgot what case I destroyed to make this, but I have it, and I think I was going to modify it to have like a little stand in the front so that it'll stand evenly, but damn, I haven't gotten around to do that. And the motherboard on here, I have no clue. Oh yeah, there you go. So It's a KGPE D16 by Asus. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use this case. I'm going to remove that board. And I'm going to use this case to build the oldest, outdated gaming slash computer. If I can't play games on it, you know. Yeah, so let me go ahead and start picking my items. So I am running low. I mean, it looks like a big mess. I did clean it. It looks a lot better than last time. You see the fans now. I mean, it's a little bit clean. It's not perfect, but I did clean, alright? And, yeah, so, okay, I'm going to use this board. Oh, use this Intel board. Look at all those capacitors. It looks like a city almost. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I really like the look of this board. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so now for the CPU, you will see that there's more items here. If you saw my last video, I had less, but I took those computers apart and now I have a little more. What is this? Hey. Okay, so this is the CPU that I removed from this board. I don't know what model this is, so let me go ahead and clean that up. Alright, so this is a Core 2 Duo 6600 Core 2 Duo, so I believe that's a 2-core processor, and that's what we're going to use for this build. I'm going to put it there to the side. Awesome, we got a board and we got our CPU. Next up, memory. I think this only supports DDR2, and the only DDR2 that I have is this epic, super epic camo OCZ memory. So that is what we're gonna use. I think that's 4 gigs total, so 1 gig each. Oh wait, one of them is just silver. Oh wait, 2 of them are silver. I just noticed that. So 2 camo and 2 silver. Awesome. Alright, next up we're gonna need a cooler. So we got some coolers here. This really huge thick one here, and then we got a small one here. I think I'm gonna go with a small one, right? I know a lot of you guys don't like stock coolers. When I have PCs and they have stock coolers, everybody tells me to replace the coolers. They're not that bad, guys. All right, it's not bad. It comes with a CPU and it's free. But you know, I actually like these coolers. I don't know, man. It's just me. It's free. But oh yeah, we also have this super slim one here. I totally missed this one last time. Look how slim this is. Core 2 Duo. I don't know if that chip runs hot. I do have this cooler rack here that supports Intel mounting hardware. I think I'm just gonna go with this one, honestly. Yeah, so I choose you. Yeah, should work, right? Yeah, cool. I'm gonna choose this guy. There you go. We got our cooler, memory, CPU, motherboard. Alright, what do we need next? What do we need next? Wait, what do we need next? Okay. Alright, let's grab a GPU. We're going for the oldest, so let's see. This one looks super old. And this one looks super old. The GeForce 9800 GT. So I don't know which one to choose. It's either this one or this one. Now I do want to pick one that's more compatible with Windows 10. That is the software that I am going to install. And off the bat, I don't know if it's going to be easy to get the drivers for this thing. Um, so let me just try this one because I have an HDMI cable, and let's just try this one. This one, I choose you. I choose this one. I choose this one. All right. Next up, we need storage. I don't want to install Windows on a hard drive because it's just gonna slow down the system. So I'm just gonna choose. What is this? 120 gigs. 11. For this one, I think I'm gonna go with a 500 gig, just so that I won't have to install a hard drive because I don't have a hard drive mount bay. So I choose you, Crucial, 500 gigs. It should be enough for like older titles, older games. 500 gigs. Let's go. Alright, so what is next? Power supply. Alright, so what does our board need? We need an 8-pin and a 24-pin. We also need, okay, GPU does not require power supply power. You'll get it directly from the board. Oh yeah, we need some SATA cables. Down here, see this little red one, and I choose you. Cool. What else do we need? Should we install a case fan? I think that'd be cool if I install one just to see how it looks, you know. Let's see, I got this white one here. Oh shoot. Yeah, that looks nice. Cool. We got a case fan. What else? What else? I think that's it, right? I'm gonna use the Ethernet cable, so I don't need Wi-Fi. Okay, so I think that's all I need. I have the CPU. I'm gonna install that. I got some thermal paste. I got my CPU cooler. I got my memory. I'm gonna look for the I/O shields. I got the GPU. Install that to the case. Just install that on the case. And we got the power supply. That's what I need. Okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna go with ketchup and mustard here. What is this? Okay, so we have an Antec 380 watt power supply. It is 80 plus bronze. That should be plenty for our build here. Alright, cool. There it is. That is all for this build. Let's go ahead and start building this. Alright, so let's go ahead and start building this PC. And first thing is first, we're going to install our CPU. Bam. So the CPU that we have is the Intel Core 2 Duo 6600. So it's a 2-core CPU. And let's just go ahead and install this. Alright, so CPU is installed. We're just going to close the latch and then bam. Cool. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and install our cooler. We got our thermal paste, MX4. Alright, let's just put it on. I know. The CPU is not cleaned. Fine. Let me clean it. Alright, so the CPU is installed. The next thing to install will be the cooler. So I got my Intel stock cooler. And I got my thermal paste right here, the MX4. Before that, I'm going to go ahead and clean my CPU. It does have some leftover thermal paste. So I'm going to be using some 91% isopropyl alcohol. You always want to clean your CPU just to get the best cooling to your CPU cooler. So always want to clean it up. Okay, so our cooler is cleaned. Our CPU is clean. Now we're just going to apply some thermal paste. I'm going to do a little tiny bit here, like so. That should be perfect. And now I want to see where our CPU fan header is. fan header is at. And the only fan connection I see is here. So I believe that is the only fan connection. I believe that's the only fan connector, so that is where our CPU is going to go. And then over here we have a rear fan header. So that's for our rear fan, and this is for our CPU. So I want to install this so the connection is closer to the CPU header. So like so. Let me engage the clips. I'm going to wiggle it in a little bit. Okay, so I ran into my first problem. This CPU cooler will not work with this. So let me go ahead and switch to a different one. Alright, so I believe this is the one that's going to work. So let me go ahead and clean this one. Awesome, nice and clean. Now finally, let's install this. And that should reach, so I'm going to install it like so. Perfect, it just slipped in. Now we just want to hear some clips. Yep. 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 Cool, that's installed. Not coming loose. Now to plug in our cooler. That's it. Our CPU is installed. We got thermal paste and we got our cooler. Next up is our RAM. So we got this really nice looking memory here by OCZ, and they're 1 gig each, so 4 gigs total. So let's go ahead and install these. We have 4 RAM slots, so we're going to use all of them. Alright, so our memory is now installed. Cool, look at that camo. Awesome. Now all we need to do is install this on the case. Alright, so I guess I don't have an IO shield for this board. So I'm just going to install it like that. Alright, so installing a board with the case standing up is kind of difficult, but I am a pro, so I'm going to do it like that. Okay, so the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to hold the board and I'm going to screw in one of the standoffs. And the one that I'm going to screw in is the bottom corner here. So the bottom right. Okay, so the board is fully installed. Next thing I'm going to do is install our fan. Alright, so this is the fan I'm going to use. It's an NZXT. Let's go ahead and just install it real quick. Awesome, fan is now installed. Now we just gotta plug it in. There's one little cable here, just one little connector here, and then I'm just gonna plug it in, and bam, plugged in. I'm just gonna maybe cable manage a little bit, not too much. Perfect. Look at that. Okay, so next we're gonna install our very, very powerful GPU here that I still don't know what it is. It's red, so I'm guessing AMD, but then also I think Intel. I'm sorry. I also think maybe old Nvidia cards were red. I could be wrong, so let's just install this. Sick. Next up, power supply. Oh. We got our Antec here. We do have a PCIe connector if we want to upgrade our GPU to a 6-pin, but we probably will not do that. We do have the CPU connector here, and it goes all the way across, and I don't think this will be managed at all, because yeah, look at that. Ooh, that's tough. Alright, that is plugged in. I can probably route this like so. Voila. Not too bad, not too bad. Alright, let's see. So the cable's down here. There's no place to organize them. So I'm just going to put it in the infinite space that's back here. Okay. Yeah, we don't need any of this stuff, so I'm going to put it in the back rooms. Awesome, cool. Alright, the final thing to plug in will be the SATA cable and the SSD. I'm just going to choose the red one because it's the one that matches this SATA cable. So red it is. Alright, so we are using the Crucial 500 gig SSD. Alrighty. And this will live here. Alright, well, you look at this. This is the end result. The oldest gaming PC that I could build out of my spare parts. We got an Intel Core this is a Q6600. Core 2 Duo. Damn, I almost messed that up. So we got a Core 2 Duo. We got 4 gigs of DDR2. We got a GPU, unidentified. We don't know what it is. Power supply, SSD. Overall, this looks pretty cool. This looks great. This computer looks like a supercomputer. Am I wrong? It looks like it means business. Look at all those heat sinks, the capacitors. Damn. Alright, so let's go ahead and install Windows. I will be using Windows 10, and I'm going to test one game, not many. So I'm going to just test like one game, and I'm going to run like a benchmark. I'm going to run a Heaven benchmark just so that you guys can compare to similar systems that you guys tested or you have. I just do it all the time whenever I build a computer. Anyways, let me go ahead and set up my monitor, my keyboard, and my mouse pad, and let's start testing this computer and seeing what it can do. Alright, so Okay, so I was about to turn my computer on, and I was looking for the power button, and then I was thinking to myself, "Where's the power button? This, this is not a normal case." So, in order to turn this on, I have to jump the power connectors, or plug in a power switch. Okay, so I do not I do I do not have a power switch, so I can't turn this on with one. So I'm just gonna have to jump the connections, and I believe that it's gonna be here. Let me show you. All right, so to jump this, uh, to turn this board on, you see right here at the bottom, there's a yellow, there's a green, and then there's red here. In order to turn this on, I'm gonna have to jump this like this. I gotta touch it like this, and it'll turn on. So let me turn the power supply on, and let's do that. There you go. Powered on. Let's see if it boots up. Okay, so we're not getting anything on the screen, and we're not getting any weird boot or random shut off or restarts on this. So, Hey, there you go. Okay, so I just rebooted it, and it went to this screen. Alright, we don't know what's going on, but it's initializing and establishing a link to something. I do have my Windows 10 on this USB flash drive there, so hopefully I can get that in. So let me switch. I'm trying to get into the BIOS, but press space to continue. I just want to get into the BIOS. There you go. Alright, so we're looking to boot into our USB flash drive. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've never haven't used this type of BIOS interface in a long time, so I don't quite remember where everything's at. USB ports enabled, USB 2.0 enabled, USB legacy enabled. I do have a USB 3.0 connected to this, so hopefully that works. Let's see, boot config. Nothing here that I can freaking know. Let's see, boots. Okay, so we got USB. Yeah, I want this. Can I put into USB this? Okay. So hard drive order. So our order shows boot device priority. Hard disk drives. Okay, boot USB device first. Yes. Thank you. Alright, cool. Hopefully that works. We enabled boot USB devices first. So I'm going to go ahead and exit. Exit saving changes. Yes. Okay, let's go. Damn, I was going to be waiting here longer. Alright. Awesome, let's do this. Installing Windows 10. Can't wait to test this rig out. Core 2 Duo. Alright, let's install Windows. Setup is starting. Alright, so Windows is installed. I actually left it on the desktop. So Windows Update started updating a bunch of random drivers, but it also updated the GPU. So yeah, I didn't have to look for every driver. So I did download my favorite software, HWinfo64, just so that we can see what kind of hardware we're working with here. I already know what the CPU is, but I don't know what the GPU is, so it's going to be nice to know what that is. I'm recording with my phone, the monitor, just so that when I play the game, it won't start lagging, you know. Alright, so this is the specs right here. Alright, what do we got? So for the CPU, we have an Intel Core 2 Duo E6600. A nice, alright, so that is very, very old, I think. It doesn't tell me when it was released, but I can just search that up later. For the board, we got an Intel D975X-BX2. Look at the BIOS. 2006. Holy. Version. All this. But we came here for one thing and one thing only. It's actually an Nvidia GPU. It really tricked me. That tricked me because it's red, and usually red means AMD. So that one got me. So we have an MSI N320 GT MSV199. So this is a GT 330, and we have 1 GB of VRAM, DDR3, and it's 128-bit. Alright, so we already know what our GPU is, and we know the CPU, of course. With memory, we have 4 GB here. DDR2. Cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to update the GPU. One thing that I've noticed when just using the PC, it is very, very slow. Opening a browser, opening a window, super slow. Definitely has to be because of the CPU being weak. So I'm going to search up Nvidia G4 GT 330 drivers, 320 drivers. Alright, so I've updated the drivers and I've downloaded Steam and a couple games. Well, I'm downloading a couple games. I'm downloading Fallout 3, and I'm also going to download Elder Scrolls Oblivion. And I'm just going to test those 2 games. I think they're probably the oldest games that I own on my Steam account. And while this is downloading, I was looking at the task manager, and look at this poor CPU running at 100% almost. It's a 2-core, 2-thread processor, so poor little CPU is working really, really hard to get this downloaded. We are using most of our RAM, so we only got 4 gigs DDR2, and we're using 3.1, but poor CPU. And then I was wondering, when did this CPU come out? So I just searched it up on Bing, I guess, for this. And the Core 2 Duo E6600 was released July 2006. That was 18 years ago. The GT 320. So it looks like it's an OEM. So it's only released on OEM computers, so like Dell, HP, Lenovo, stuff like that. And this was released in 2010, so it's a lot newer than the CPU, or a lot more recent than the CPU. Yes, this was released 4 years after the E6600, and it does support DirectX 11, so hopefully the games that I'm downloading support the X11. Okay, so both games are downloaded. Now I'm just going to begin with the Heaven benchmark. So I'm going to open that up. Hopefully this will run. Yep. So I'm going to go the lowest settings, probably change the resolution to 720, low, anti-aliasing off. So let's try this and see if it actually works. Alright, so it's actually working so far. I'm going to run the benchmark. And it looks like we're getting about 28 FPS, 28, 27 at 720p. Hey, at least we're running this. I'm actually very surprised this is running with no stutters and no hiccups, no weird stuff going on. So I'm gonna let this run, and I'll be back with the results. Alright, will you look at that? So far, this gaming PC, or old gaming PC, has definitely surprised me. I was expecting 5 to 8 FPS before I even started this test, and we got 31 FPS. Average, minimum 8, and the max was 54. You can see the CPU model, the GPU, the settings, and we use 720p full screen. Yeah, this computer exceeded my expectations for sure, and it's actually running fairly decent actually. Anyways, that's the score that we got, 795. Awesome. Let's move on to the next test, which is a game. Okay, so I just opened Fallout 3, and the video settings have been set to manual quality, so this is the automatic settings here. I'm just going to click OK, and I'm just going to play it at whatever setting it gives me. So resolution, we're running at 664, so 1176 by 664. Anti-aliasing off, anti-traffic filtering off. We got HDR for some reason. Vertical sync on. And yeah, just all these settings here. So whatever it's select for me, I'm just gonna do it. And we're in here. So we are playing at some weird resolution. I forgot what it was. But we're getting about 60 FPS. Oh, we just got a little stutter there. So we're in Megaton here. So we got 50, 60, and it is playable. It's smooth. Graphics are really low, but hey, what can you ask for, man? What more can you ask for? If you tell me, if I had this PC when I was a kid, if I had this PC as a kid and I can be playing, and I was able to play this game at 60 with these graphics, I would be the happiest kid in the planet. Now, okay, so now that we know it runs and we're getting like over 60 FPS, I'm going to exit the game and then increase the settings. Man, what is all this? Okay, so let me do that. Okay, so it was running on medium, so I'm gonna go to ultra. Let's go to high actually, and increase the resolution to 1920 by 1080. And let's turn VSync off. Actually, yeah, let's keep it on. HDR screen effect. Let's turn that off. Alright, cool. Let's try this. Oh yeah. 30 FPS, high settings, 1080p. Oh yeah. This is great. This is surprising. I did not believe this PC can run this, especially with that CPU. But we're actually running it. Oh, that's so awesome. It just brings a smile to my face when older tech can run games. Yeah, let's go over here. Let's wander around a bit. So we are getting about 32 FPS, 1080p. I forgot how to run in this game. Uh, can you even run in this game? Hey, I got my gun. Yeah, I mean, we're running at 30 FPS. You can definitely lower the settings to get a smoother gameplay. So if you go to like medium settings at 1080p, that should be decent. Let me go ahead and try that actually. So we go medium, also medium. Let's turn anti-aliasing to 2 samples, 1080p, and screen effect off. And let's go ahead and play. Alright, so I switched it to medium, 1080p with 2 samples for anti-aliasing, and we're getting 60 FPS. That is amazing. So that's absolutely amazing. That I mean, I know some of you guys out there have already tried a PC like this and probably this is one of your first PCs and you played this game. But for me, I've never owned a PC this old. My first computer was an AMD Elite A6600, I believe, A6400, with no GPU, had integrated graphics, um, and that one ran pretty well. I think it ran around the same performance as this, and this setup is a lot older than that PC. But yeah, I mean, absolutely crazy that I'm playing this game with this old tech, and it's just really nice to know that it can run it. Okay, so Oblivion also defaulted to medium settings. I'm just gonna go ahead and change that to, wow, I went to 480. Let me go ahead and put that to 1080p. I think this PC will handle it. 2 samples for anti-aliasing, and I'm gonna use the medium settings. I'm just gonna leave it at that and continue. And let's play this. Absolutely, I think it was. Damn. Damn. We're getting 60 FPS. Let me take my sword out. I don't know what I was thinking, dude. When I download these games, I'm not going to lie. When I downloaded these, I was like, this is gonna crash. It's not gonna open. It's gonna tell me some error. Um, I don't know. I don't know, man. But it makes me appreciate these older CPUs and older GPUs for sure. And they still work, and you know, they're still kicking. That's nice. That's cool. Can you swim in this game? I don't know how I got to this little island. Oh, you cannot swim. Oh, we got a shield. I don't know how to jump. Whoa, what the hell? Yeah, I've actually never played Oblivion. The only Elder Scrolls game, that I played was Skyrim, and that's one of my favorite games of all time. Um, yeah, I don't even know where I'm going. Uh, but yeah, dude, this is insane. Um, I've never actually played a game on DDR2 before, I think. Or at least I don't remember playing a game with DDR2 and a really, really old CPU like this Core 2 Duo. But damn. I was expecting like 10 FPS or something to be really stuttery, but it's actually very smooth. and you know, it looks decent. It's a medium settings. I'm pretty sure if you optimize the settings, if you get the sweet spot, it's gonna look a lot better. Um, but yeah, that's it, man. All right, so that's the end of this game. Let me go ahead and switch back to the PC. All right, guys, so that's the end of that game. You can see we did play 2 games and we tested Heaven Benchmark. And this beast actually still works. Look at that. Alright, let me do a final look around this PC before I end the video. Just look at that beast there. Handle the games like it was nothing. That little GPU. I honestly thought that wasn't going to run that well with this CPU. But it actually did pretty good. There you go, another successful build. Alrighty guys, so thank you guys for watching. If you watched my last video of building a PC from my spare parts, thank you for that. If you like this video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. If you have a comment, leave me a comment. If you have any questions about the build, or if you want me to test the game, just let me know in the comments and I'll definitely try it. Other than that, see you guys in the next one.